Bayer Leverkusen are doing amazing this season, with them currently being first place in the Bundesliga, meaning they have a pretty good chance at winning the league this campaign. However, it wasn't always going well for Leverkusen, with them actually battling relegation last season. So how did inexperienced manager Xabi Alonso come to Leverkusen and help turn things around so fast? Well, let's take a look at the unique situation surrounding Bayer Leverkusen right now. For the longest time, Bayer Leverkusen have been one of the most legendary clubs in Germany. They've had some great players throughout the years, like Berbatov, Michael Ballack, Heung-min Son, Toni Kroos, etc. Additionally, they've always been near the top of German football clubs, with them winning DFB Pokal Cups, being runners-up in several Bundesliga campaigns, and even being the runner-up in the Champions League final in 2002, where they lost to Real Madrid 2-1. The reason why I'm mentioning all of this is to provide context that Leverkusen is one of the most notable clubs in the world, and is a club that always hangs around the top of German football. But in the beginning of the 22-23 season, this wasn't the case whatsoever. In fact, Leverkusen were fighting relegation, with them being 17th place 8 games into the season. To top this, Leverkusen's players were struggling, and it didn't seem like they could bring it together. Super talent Florian Wirtz was out for the season through a serious injury. Lucas Herdesky, the goalkeeper, just sucked to be honest, and other attackers in the team, like Patrick Schick, Moussa Diaby, Demirbay, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, were all struggling to click. Clearly, something was off, and a change within Bayer Leverkusen was absolutely necessary. This is where Leverkusen's biggest risk in a long time took place. They sacked manager Gerardo Soane, and they hired the inexperienced manager of Xabi Alonso. Now obviously, Xabi Alonso is one of the most legendary players, and also one of the greatest midfielders of all time. This dude has won Champions Leagues with Liverpool and Real Madrid, won a ton of trophies with Bayern Munich, and even won the Euros and the World Cup with Spain. His trophy cabinet and experience was huge, but these are only his accolades as a player, not as a manager, because as the boss, he was still very inexperienced. Xabi Alonso's resume only includes spending roughly around a year managing the Real Madrid youth team, and then only around 3 years managing the Real Sociedad B team. That was honestly it. So when Bayer Leverkusen made the announcement that they were signing Xabi Alonso as the new manager for the club, a lot of football fans were confused, and they had a right to be. Xabi was only 41 years old, which is young for a manager, and he was having to coach a struggling top flight club that hadn't been relegated since 1979. It seemed like a job that even experienced managers would struggle with, let alone Xabi Alonso, a manager with little to no experience, taking on this job that had a ton of pressure surrounding it. But just like Xabi during his playing days on the ball, pressure didn't face him. He was cool as ice, and he had a plan. You see, when Xabi was coaching Sociedad's B team, he implemented a high pressing, possession-based, and fast passing approach, which seems kinda basic since I'm dumbing it down, but this approach helped Real Sociedad's B team get promoted from the 3rd tier of Spanish football to the 2nd tier for the first time in 59 years. With Leverkusen being known throughout history to be an attacking and adaptable team, Xabi Alonso seemed like a good fit, which only provided more proof that Leverkusen got exactly who they were looking for. And Xabi implemented this attacking style of football to Leverkusen right away. And this change in tactics helped Leverkusen pretty much immediately, with Xabi Alonso managing Leverkusen to a 4-0 win over Schalke, a sign for good things to come. Well, not really, because Bayer Leverkusen went winless for 6 games after that, including 2 humiliating defeats to Porto 3-0 and Eintracht Frankfurt 5-1. But this wouldn't face Xabi Alonso or his team. Even though the start of Xabi Alonso's tenure wasn't the best, the players seemed to believe in his system, and then they went on to have a 2-month unbeaten streak to help them get out of the relegation zone, and also beating the likes of Gladbach 3-2 and Stuttgart, another team doing well this season, 2-0. Overall, in the 22-23 campaign, with positive results happening since Xabi Alonso's arrival, Leverkusen secured a 6th place finish, helping them qualify for the Europa League group stages. In the span of a season, Leverkusen went from relegation candidates to Europa League football for the following campaign. That's insane. Xabi Alonso's tactics were being implemented greatly, with some of his players flourishing, including the likes of Moussa Diaby, who got a total of 14 goals and 11 assists in 48 games, and Frimpong, who was excellent in Xabi Alonso's system, with him being a wingback. However, Leverkusen started to struggle slightly towards the end of the 22-23 campaign, with them losing to the likes of Bochum 3-0 and Köln 2-1. Xabi Alonso realized that he still needed some fresh faces in order for Leverkusen to challenge where they belong, and over the summer is when Leverkusen's transfer department got to work. Despite losing Moussa Diaby to Aston Villa for 55 million euros, Leverkusen reinvested that money extremely well. Xabi Alonso already knew that he wanted Frimpong to be the lockdown starter on the right, but he needed someone with similar capabilities to do the wingback role on the left. That's where Alejandro Grimaldo comes in, joining Bayer Leverkusen on a free after spending 7 years with Benfica, despite other top European clubs taking a good look at him. Additionally, Xabi Alonso needed a midfielder who wasn't fazed by oncoming pressure, kinda like him back in the day, and someone who could control the tempo from the middle of the pitch. Hence why Leverkusen signed Granit Xhaka for 25 million euros. Then, with reinforcements needed in the attack, with Diaby leaving, and with Callum Hudson-Odoi just absolutely shitting the bed, Leverkusen went on to sign Gladbach's Hoffmann for 10 million euros, Nathan Tella for around 25 million euros, and the star man up top, Victor Boniface, Boniface from Union SG in Belgium for 20 million euros. With these new additions, Leverkusen had one of their best summer transfer windows in a very long time, and football fans, including myself, overlooked how good their transfers were in the past summer. Anyways, with the new players that fit Xabi Alonso's system, Bayer Leverkusen were ready to take on the 23-24 campaign, where they've been performing extremely well. Like I've already mentioned, Bayer Leverkusen are currently on top of the table, with them being first place and undefeated with 28 points right now. How have they done it? Well, it's thanks to Xabi Alonso's system in this 23-24 campaign. Xabi Alonso has his team setting up in a 3-4-2-1 formation, which isn't super common in today's game, but this provides balance, possession, and most importantly, width for the team, helping setting up the attack and defense more fluidly than previously. To go more in depth, Lucas Hradecky, who was shaky last season, is now more comfortable as the keeper, since now he has 3 center backs in front of him who are capable at defending and on the ball, with Tatsoba, Jonathan Tah, and the other center back, most commonly Kosonu, doing a great job at helping cover the keeper. Then on the flanks we got the wingbacks, Grimaldo and Frimpong, who are both great defenders, but more importantly, they provide the width on the attack as well, which is something both wingbacks are excellent at. At the center of the wingbacks we got the 2 midfielders, Granit Xhaka and Palacios, who both are equally good on the ball, but are also comfortable at helping the center backs out, but more importantly, they're good at picking a pass into the final third for the attackers to feed off of. In front of these guys, we got the 2 10s, Florian Wirtz and Jonas Hoffmann. 10s aren't even common in today's game anymore, but for Xabi Alonso, he doesn't just have one, he's got 2 of them. These 2 10s are critical in Alonso's game plan as well, since they create a lot of chances for the striker and the wingbacks, but they also take chances themselves and also create a ton of danger in the final third. In fact, so far this season, Hoffmann himself has 7 goals and 5 assists in 13 games, while Florian Wirtz, the German wonder kid, has 6 goals and 9 assists in 15 games. So clearly, Hoffmann and Wirtz are doing an incredible job at the role. However, one of the most important positions for Leverkusen right now is the man up top, and Victor Boniface has done a great job in fitting into that striker role perfectly for the team. So far in this campaign, he's gotten himself 10 goals and 6 assists in 14 games, and he also got capped by the Nigerian national team, despite Nigeria having a ton of strikers to choose from, like Osimhen, Iheanacho, Taren Mofi, etc. Anyways, at the young age of 22, Boniface seems to be one of the future best strikers in the world, and this season he's definitely proving it, despite missing some good chances, but he's gonna get better with his finishing over time. I'm sure of it. Now with these new tactics and players from Leverkusen, they've shown how good they can really be. They've already played some really tough teams so far, and have gotten great results against them, like beating RB Leipzig 3-2, beating Gladbach 3-0 away from home, drawing Bayern Munich away from home 2-2, beating Wolfsburg 2-1, and most recently beating Hoffenheim 3-2 away from home as well. As you can see, with Leverkusen already playing some really tough teams, this isn't just some lucky period for them. They mean serious business, and they're going after that Bundesliga title. Now I know it's still early days in the season, so for me to say that Bayer Leverkusen is gonna beat Bayern Munich, a club that has won the Bundesliga for like the past 10 years, to the Bundesliga title is just insane. But I think if anyone is gonna dethrone Bayern Munich, it's gonna be Bayer Leverkusen, not Dortmund, since Leverkusen are performing so well, while Dortmund, yeah, not so much. Nevertheless, do y'all think Bayer Leverkusen has a chance of winning the Bundesliga? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Also, be sure to follow my Instagram and my Twitter, the links are in my YouTube description. And last but not least, if you guys want to learn more about how Christian Pulisic has turned his career around, you definitely want to check out this video right here, you won't regret it.